The provided picture gives the information about the skull. First of all, it is evident that the different part of the skull is given. First of all, frontal part is represented by the yellow color, partial part is represented by the blue color, and optical part on the back side is represented by the green color. While in central part, temporal part is represented by the orange color, while in the middle of the zygomatic part is represented by the white color. Moreover, nasal cavity and the sphenoid also given in this picture. Overall, it is quite informative about the skull.
This is a picture which explains about the skull and which is an anatomy of both the brain as well as the face. It starts with the brain, which is called as parietal, occipital, and temporal zygomatic. And towards the left, we can see it has been updated with a lot of frontal, sphenoid, ethanoid, nasal, lacrimal, and mandible. And interestingly, what we can understand through this is if skin is not there, it just remains as a skull. Skin is the one which would be protecting us from all of inflammations that we have, and it will be always protecting us. And we can also see that the eyes has not been covered or the news has not been covered, the ethanoid picture that we have. To conclude, this particular skull photography that we see here has been very informative.
The image which I am seeing here is the human skull. The leftmost part, which is yellow in color, is called as frontal, and the rightmost part, which is blue in color, is called parietal. And the lower part, which is below our jaw, is called as mandible, and the part above our teeth is called as maxilla. The nasal part is called as nasal, and the innermost part is called as temporal. And we can also see there are the other parts called as sphenoid, ethmoid, lacrimal, and occipital, zygomatic. To sum up, these are all the parts of the human skull.
The given picture illustrates the information about the structure of the head of the human beings. The top part is the parietal and the side part is the frontal, whereas bottom part is the mandible and maxilla. We can also see other parts which are nasal, sphenoid, and temporal and zygomatic, and the base one is the occipital. However, we can see that the parietal is the biggest part of our head, which consists of brain, followed by temporal and occipital. Overall, the image gives lots of useful information about the structure of human beings, of head and the brain.
The given image is a human skull and it gives information about different parts of the skull involved in human. It can be seen that different parts are marked with different colors and are represented with different sizes. The largest part of the skull is parietal, while the smallest part of the human skull is nasal. It can be seen that temporal part is represented with orange color, while blue color represents the parietal and mandible part. The green color represents occipital and nasal cavity, while it can also be seen that the yellow color moreover represents the frontal and saphenous side part of the skull. Overall, it gives information about different parts of the skull.
The given image provides information related to skull. The image provides information related to frontal, parietal, and occipital. Furthermore, the image provides information related to sphenoid, temporal, and nasal. In addition to this, the image provides information related to lagrimal, maxilla, and zygomatic. And lastly, the image provides information related to mandible. Overall, the image is very useful and informative.
The picture is about skull. There are different elements in the picture such as nasal and maxial. Similarly, other element in the picture is optical, which is represented by green color. The smallest element in the picture is nasal in the middle part, and the biggest element is the partial, which is at the uppermost part of the skull. Overall, the picture is very informative and it can be used in future.
The given picture gives us information about the human skull. From the picture, frontal at the forehead. Behind it, we can see partial. Just below os frontal, we can see nasal. The maxilla is located farther below. At the lower jaw, it's mandible. There are many parts shown in the picture, such as temporal and occipital. To sum up, the graph tells about the human skull.
The given image gives information about the human skull. in which there are different parts such as frontal, nasal, mandible, temporal, parietal, and occipital. On the left side of the image, there are different parts such as frontal, sphenoid, nasal, maxilla, and mandible. In the center of the image, there is temporal part, whereas on the right side of the image, there are different parts such as parietal and occipital. Overall, the given image gives information about the different parts located in the human skull.
The image shows us about the human skull. Here we can see a different types of bone shown in the figure. In the middle part of the figure, we notice the temporal bone, and on the right side of the figure, there are parietal and occipital bone. Similarly, on the left side of the figure, we notice there are frontal bone, sphenoid, ethmoid, nasal, lacrimal, maxilla, mandible, and zygomatic. To sum up, this picture gives information about human skull.
The given image is showing the different bone of the head with the different colors. There is, we can see the parietal with the blue color and frontal with the yellow color. In the image we can also see the occipital, zygomatic, temporal, lacrimal, maxilla, mandible, nasal, ethopia, and cephoidal. In the image we can see the different parts in the different color, showing that the laxivia are in the yellow color and ethopia is in the red color, and then the mandibula is the lowest part, and then the parietal is the toppest part. In conclusion, this image shows the clear distribution of the different bone in a human head.
The picture is about skull. There are different elements in this picture like mandible and maxilla. Similarly, we can see different elements like nasals and spheroid. In this picture, we can see the smallest part in the middle of the picture and its name is spheroid. And in this picture, we can see the largest element is parenchyma, which is at the uppermost part of the skull. Overall, the picture is very informative and we can help in the future.
The image provided gives information about the skull. Parts of the skull are being discussed in the image. On top is the parietal and beside it is the frontal. Below the frontal area is the sphenoid, which comes along with the ethmoid and the nasal parts. On the lowest part is the mandible and the zygomatic one. On the left side, it is also evident that occipital part of the skull is there. Overall, this information gives vital information about the skull.
The image shows a label diagram of the human skull where different bones are displayed in various colors. At the top front, the frontal bone is highlighted, and behind it, a large parietal section covers most of the upper head. Towards the back, the occipital bone is shown in green. On the side, the temporal bone appears in orange. Near the center, smaller bones such as nasal, ethmoid, and sphenoid are marked clearly. The maxilla forms the upper jaw, the zygomatic bones shape the cheek area, and the mandible at the bottom represent the lower jaw. Overall, the diagram gives a clear view of how the main bones of the skull are arranged and labeled. This picture gives information about the human skull. From the picture, frontal is at the forehead. Behind it, we can see parietal. Just below frontal, we can see nasal. Just below the nasal, we have maxilla. At the lower jaw, it is mandible. There are many other parts shown in the picture, such as temporal and occipital. To sum up, the graph tells about the human skull.